I was consistently losing money sports betting, and I didn't understand what I was doing wrong. Through my journey, I discovered 6 key habits, and I went from consistently losing money to making thousands of dollars each month sports betting. I wish I knew these 6 habits earlier when I started my sports betting journey. They will save you from losing your money and wasting all of your time. Start implementing these habits right now, and I promise you, everything will change. So pay attention and lock it in with me for the next 10 minutes. Skipping one of these habits could be the reason why you're not seeing your bankroll grow, so be sure to watch the entire video. But first, I need you to smash that subscribe button if you want to beat the sports books. I upload videos every week teaching you how you can become a profitable sports bettor, and you're not going to want to miss a video. The first game-changing habit that transformed my life was mastering bankroll management. It's surprising how often so many sports bettors just overlook this crucial aspect. Back in the day, I remember having a profitable week and I was super psyched, and then the next day, poof, it was all gone because I wasn't managing my bankroll. When I say bankroll management, I mean how we're managing the money in our sportsbook accounts day in and day out. There were a few key points that I was completely ignoring, like setting a budget. I wasn't determining how much money I was comfortable losing in a day, a week, or a month. How much am I comfortable losing so that I can still pay my bills, go out to eat, live my normal life? I was avoiding having this conversation with myself. I also wasn't establishing betting limits. It sounds cheesy, but it's super important. I wasn't thinking about what's the maximum percentage of my bankroll that I'm comfortable putting down on one bet. I recommend keeping this between 1 to 3%, depending on how conservative or aggressive you want to be. So if you have a $1,000 bankroll, you're going to wager somewhere between $10 to $30 for one play. I also wasn't setting a percentage of how much money of my bankroll I was going to wager for one day. Keeping this under 25% is my recommendation. And again, it's going to boil down to you and how aggressive or conservative you want to be. So if you have a $1,000 bankroll, the most you'll ever wager in one day is $250. You'll have losing days sports betting. And when you do, that's okay because you didn't have your entire bankroll at risk. The key is staying in the game and living to fight another day. Be real with yourself. Do you know how much money you're wagering in total every day? If you don't know the answer to that question, then make the change right now. Another thing that I wasn't doing was tracking my bets and keeping a record of how much I was wagering per day, so it was really hard to figure out if I was staying within my limits. Honestly, a small part of me didn't want to know how much I was wagering per day because I wanted to be a little reckless. Before the games would start, I would have this idea in my head that I was going to hit it big, and today was the day. And then when my bets would lose, I would chase my losses all the time. It became so normal for me to do this. I couldn't resist the temptation to increase my bet size for that next game so that I could get everything back that I lost and then some more. Especially when I would see a tweet from someone saying this next play is a nuke and we are going to unload the entire bankroll on one play because this can't lose. Ask yourself how horrible of a feeling it is to put everything on one play and then it loses. Managing your bankroll will ensure this never happens again. The second habit that was game-changing for me was discipline and emotional control. This ties back to the first habit, but so far you can tell that back in the day, I didn't have any control. When I kept redepositing back into the sportsbook for what felt like the 7th time in a week, it was really messing with my head. I needed to learn that I was going to have losing days and I needed to accept this. Instead of beating yourself up for having losing days, look at it as an opportunity to learn from. It's not a setback. Understanding that bad bets win and good bets lose took a long time to sink into my thick skull. Some ways that I implement control is I set time aside each day to sports bet, and when I walk away from my computer that day, that's it. I'm done for the day. Also, I don't think this is talked about enough, but taking breaks isn't a bad thing. Stepping away from sports betting when I found myself overly emotional or tempted to make rash decisions proved to be a turning point in my personal growth as a sports bettor. I make sure I take at least 2 to 3 days off every month to recharge my batteries, forget about those bad losses, and I don't let sports betting consume me. The third habit, and I want you to really listen closely on this one, is setting realistic expectations. In my opinion, your expectations can make or break you. Start off by defining your goals. Determine what success in sports betting looks like to you. Is it that you're trying to take your bankroll from this size and grow it to this size? Or maybe you're trying to make enough money each month so that it pays off your car payment or it pays for that vacation that you want to go on. Focus on sustainable growth. Aim for the small, steady gains instead of just trying to get rich quick on hitting that 9-leg parlay. Celebrate the small victories in the small winning days. Not every day sports betting is going to just be a massive payout. Acknowledge and appreciate your progress and that you're taking steps in the right direction. You're getting better every day. Too many beginning sports bettors, in my opinion, want to take that $300 bankroll and turn it into $5,000 in just 1 week. You'll get to that $5,000, but it's not going to happen overnight. Also, stop comparing your sports betting journey to everybody else on Twitter. All you're going to see is someone that has that $100 parlay that turns it into $70,000. And while that can happen, it's a massive long shot and it's terrible for your mentals. What habit do you struggle the most with? Comment down below. The fourth habit is the most important out of all of these, in my opinion, and that is staying consistent and persistent. Let me break it down. Too often early on in my journey, I was switching up my betting strategy or my unit size every single day. One day I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just going to bet pitcher strikeouts and I'm only going to focus on this certain odds range. Then I would have a losing day. So I would wake up the next day and be like, yeah, whatever we did yesterday, I'm not doing that again. We're starting off with a brand new strategy today. But the truth is, it was just one day. So my recommendation for you is to stick to a routine and a strategy for 1 month. Keep your betting size, the odds range that you're going after, the markets that you're betting in, keep it all the same. The real key is staying patient. Success in sports betting takes time and perseverance, and it will test you to your core. Don't be discouraged from setbacks or experiencing multiple losing days. This will happen, which ties into trusting the process. Have faith in your strategy and stick with it. If you have moments of doubt, reach out to me on Twitter. I'll be there to talk you through it. Use me as a resource. You are not alone in your sports betting journey. The fifth habit, and one that I don't think is really talked about enough, and I don't understand why, is securing profits. In sports betting, greed is always present. If you win $15,000 in 1 week, if you don't withdraw a portion of those funds and put that money to use elsewhere, outside of sports betting, then you're gonna think in your head, I can take this $15,000, I could turn that into $50,000, and then I could take that $50,000 and I could turn it into $100,000, and so on and so on and so on. I want to grow my bankroll to $100,000 one day, but when I have profitable months, I make sure to take a little bit of those profits and put that money to use elsewhere outside of sports betting. If you can do this, trust me, you'll be ahead of 99% of sports bettors. If you don't secure at least some of your profits, then what in the hell is the point of all of this? The final habit that I feel is crucial for your success is continuous learning and improving. The strategies and edges you have right now will not last forever. You need to constantly evolve and understand the game is always changing. Experiment with new strategies by putting very small amounts down on different plays and then tracking them to see how well your new strategy is performing. You might uncover an edge that isn't popular yet. Start networking and reaching out to others in the gambling community. You'll find plenty of people that are happy to share their insights and experiences to help you along your journey. Make sure to reflect on your performance and looking over your past betting results. Your betting history can provide valuable insight into helping shape your future path for success. If you apply these habits, I promise you, your sports betting journey will absolutely change. You won't master all of these overnight, but start focusing on one and then build from there. Don't ever hesitate to reach out to me and ask for my opinion or advice. I'm here to help. Now all you need is a proven successful betting strategy to take your gains to the next level. One that is battle tested month after month and still yields positive results. Click this video right here to find out my betting strategy that has made me $18,000 over the course of 6 straight profitable months. I break down exactly how I execute this step by step so that you can implement this into your strategy and start earning right now.